We are here in windy Leipzig, Germany, and for the past 2 days we have been on hands-on with the new Need for Speed Most Wanted game. The game has been we have had the chance to play the game for 3 hours single player and 3 hours of the multiplayer. The new open world felt surprisingly good, and both the single player and multiplayer were tied together very strongly by with the new speed point system. So you get speed points for every aspect of the game. Of course, winning the races and competing against other players online, but also in every activity you do, and also between the activities. Like for example, when you are starting a online game, you get to first you choose a playlist called Speed List, which has 5 events, and then you basically in the open world you drive around there and meet the other players in the event site, and then you start playing. But in between the events, you can still do all the stuff you're doing in the single player. So the single player is almost the same as the multiplayer, just that there are of course a lot of other players driving around and causing accidents and whatnot.
It's about beating your friends.
This is of course the second Need for Speed game from Criterion Games, and you can see the resemblance to Hot Pursuit in almost every aspect. It has the same kind of easy to start game mechanic, but I think maybe the cars are a little bit heavier, and there are more simulation, even though the game is still fairly arcade racing. And of course there are a lot of crazy jumps and drifting and everything like that. So basically those people that probably have liked the Hot Pursuit in the past, they probably will be familiar with the new Most Wanted also. Hot Pursuit also introduced the auto-lock system, and that has become a fairly regular feature in EA games. And of course in this new game they are trying to pull that even further with Autolock 2. And the Autolock 2 was of course when we played it in the hands-on sessions, of course it didn't present itself as strongly as it would in the online environment when you're playing it at home. But it really felt that you're constantly competing against someone, and every place, every like speed test or billboard that you break, you find out how many have you broken, and who's in front of you and who's behind you, and you immediately get the sensation you have to beat that. And that I felt was really well executed again, and probably will make the game last even longer than just a single player. The single player was a little bit lagging behind the multiplayer mode, and even the producer said that the single player wasn't that a big deal or that big of a priority, that their focus was mostly on the multiplayer. And you can see it, for example, in the story, and that the story isn't very strong in the sense like what they tried to do with the last Need for Speed game, Need for Speed The Run. And basically the whole point of the game in single player is basically just to set up the multiplayer environment, and it's about the chase of those 10 most wanted drivers and cars of Fairhaven City. So even though the story didn't feel very important in the game, it still felt adequate for the most important thing, which is of course the crazy speed driving all around the city. Maybe those that are just trying to find a single player experience, they may have to try the game first before buying. But of course, if you just want to have a very fun driving experience, I think Need for Speed Most Wanted will probably be the most anticipated game of this year.